Hello everyone, welcome. Here's a little fun fact for you. The planet Earth. Earth. You gotta love it. I mean, if you don't, you're basically screwed. What does Earth have on it? A. Roller coasters. B. Roller coasters. C. Roller coasters. Or D. Roller coasters. If you guess C, congratulations, you're correct. Every year we see a bunch of new roller coasters added to your favorite amusement parks. And 2024 is no different. Just in the US alone, we're seeing a bunch of new roller coasters pop up for this season. I just want to go over these attractions again, and who knows, maybe you even forgot a few, like Daddy Pig's roller coaster. There's definitely no way you remembered about this one. But hey, congrats to Daddy Pig, he has 2 roller coasters that I don't. That's insane. But unless if we're counting Gatekeeper as a Coasters Every Day branded ride, I don't have any. When it comes to new for 2024 additions to theme parks, one of the new roller coasters I think about is
Good Gravy!
As you may know, the new roller coaster at Holiday World is themed to gravy, which by the way, is absolutely amazing. It fits wonderfully in the Thanksgiving themed land, because it's gravy, but it gets 22.5 times better because it was an actual really good addition for Holiday World to do. Holiday World has been missing a family-friendly roller coaster since day one, and now they finally have it, which you may know is finally replacing the Pilgrim's Plunge plot of land, which has been sitting vacant for like 7 years. But that's perfectly fine because Holiday World claims that this ride is America's graviest coaster. It may be the only one themed to gravy, but you know what? That's alright. I would have to say the best part about this ride is the giant gravy can that you go through. By the way, I love how random this ride is. Like, giant gravy can? Yeah. I'm really excited for this to open up this year at Holiday World because we all know how beneficial it's going to be for the park. And honestly, who knows? Some could even say,
Gee willikers, that's some good gravy!
Another roller coaster opening up this year can be a little menacing at times. Dorney Park's new roller coaster this year is a B&M Dive. And if you're not aware, it's been quite a long time since Dorney Park has gotten their last roller coaster. It's been 16 years. And for the amount of time they've been waiting on their new roller coaster, I think they got a really good one. Iron Menace fits tremendously in the Dorney Park roller coaster lineup. Iron Menace is unique to Dorney Park and let alone the surrounding area. A 95-degree drop, a complete original layout, and one more thing, theming. We're living in a time where Cedar Fair is putting a lot of attention to detail into their attractions and lands. An example is the all-new Camp Snoopy coming to Kings Island this year. And there's a lot of other examples in the Cedar Fair chain. You have where it all started with Mystic Timbers, Area 72, Adventureport, Nautica Landing, Jungle Expedition, and many more. The area of the park around the roller coaster is also getting themed to the roller coaster to make it more immersive, which I would say is pretty cool. And another thing here, what is Cedar Fair's obsession with orange B&M dive coasters? But either way, I believe Dorney Park has a huge winner on their hands, and hopefully this means they get a lot more investment in the future. The next roller coaster on our list is definitely not making it for opening day, but that's just how Six Flags rolls. Of course, I'm talking about the Flash Vertical Velocity at Six Flags Great Adventure, the only ride of its kind in the United States as of now. The ride is what we call a Vekoma Super Boomerang, and it kind of looks like a lot of fun. As of now, there's no official animated POV released from the park, so we're looking at this random No Limits creation of it. The Flash Vertical Velocity will be very intimidating to the guest of Great Adventure. This towering structure can be so-called very menacing to the average guest. The Flash doesn't look like a normal roller coaster. For starters, you have this huge vertical tower with 2 vertical pieces of track going alongside each other. And if I was a theme park operator, I would love to have a ride like Flash presentable to all the guests. Guests are going to remember this attraction because of the way it looks, and that's exactly what I would want, to grab their attention and make them want to ride the attraction. Another win in the scenario for Six Flags is where the ride is located. The ride will be located directly to the right side of the entrance to the park, forcing every guest that goes inside to look at this roller coaster. What you see here is the Flash Vertical Velocity, not the one at Great Adventure, but a random one in China. Located at Fanta Wild Wonderland, it is the exact same roller coaster as the Flash. And I would say that this ride looks really cool. Now on paper, Flash Vertical Velocity looks like an amazing addition to add to a park such as Great Adventure. But I would say there is going to be one major problem that will happen. The Flash Vertical Velocity is going to have terrible capacity, but I think they'll figure out a solution for this problem, or we're just going to wait in a line for 5 hours. I don't know, but hopefully they have a fantastic 50th anniversary. For our next entry, we're going to go down south where it's warm to a cold-themed roller coaster. Of course, we're talking about SeaWorld Orlando's new Penguin Trek roller coaster opening in, surprise surprise, 2024. This will be SeaWorld Orlando's third roller coaster in 3 years. 2022 was the debut of Icebreaker, originally for 2020, but we all know what happened then. 2023 was Pipeline the Surf Coaster, an all-new version of the stand-up. And then this year, 2024, is Penguin Trek, a family coaster from Bolliger Mabillard again. When Penguin Trek opens later this year, it will be SeaWorld Orlando's 5th B&M roller coaster, which funny enough is tied for first place with the park we just talked about being Great Adventure. Point being here is that SeaWorld has a very good relationship with Bolliger and Mabillard. B&M stands for Bolliger and Mabillard, by the way. If we go back to last year, we know that Pipeline the Surf Coaster opened. B&M approached SeaWorld and basically said, hey, can we do this new ride concept at your park? And SeaWorld Orlando was like, sure, why not? And the rest was history. But now that I'm kind of thinking about it, I feel like the exact same scenario happened with Penguin Trek. We don't know for sure yet, but could have happened. But either way, this is going to be a fantastic addition for SeaWorld Orlando. Now, when SeaWorld was building Icebreaker a few years back, it originally was supposed to be the family coaster for SeaWorld Orlando. It had a height requirement of 48 inches tall, meaning smaller guests could ride the attraction. Unfortunately, after a few days of operation, the height requirement was lifted to 52 inches because the ride was just too intense. Kinda accidentally shot themselves in the foot, and they already had Pipeline secretly on its way for the next year, meaning they had to wait pretty much 2 years until they can get what they originally wanted in the first place. But that's all good now because SeaWorld has a fantastic lineup of roller coasters to help compete with Universal and Disney. But I have a pretty good feeling that after this year, United Parks is going to stop dumping their wallet all over SeaWorld Orlando and give them a few years rest. Until in 2026, when they build the tallest, longest, fastest roller coaster in all the entire world. Now, the final roller coaster I want to talk about today is the one that wants you to get revved up, to drive the sky, pump the brakes, and take that victory lap. Of course, I'm talking about Daddy Pig's roller coaster.
It starts with snorts and squeals. Then come the tiny roars. And before you know it, you have muddy piggies and flying piggies everywhere. It's the world's first Peppa Pig theme park.
Stop this madness! Top Thrill 2 is the roller coaster that I am most excited to open this year. Top Thrill Dragster has been missing from Cedar Point for what feels like forever, and I'm finally happy to see it come back once again, in an all-new, exciting, modern way. Of course, we're all gonna miss the old variation, but what we got here is pretty cool. Literally changing the skyline of Cedar Point once again, Top Thrill 2 is something that we would have never imagined of happening, but it did anyways. I do wonder though, if the dragster accident never happened, what would Cedar Point's next roller coaster be besides Wild Mouse? Could there have been a roller coaster that was going to get removed but was saved for a few years because of dragster? I'm not exactly sure, but what I am sure of is that Top Thrill 2 is a win-win scenario for everyone. It's going to save the park a lot of time, money, and frustration because there's not going to be as much downtime as there used to be with the ride. Also, a lot more guests are going to be able to experience the attraction because of the reduced downtime. And it's basically a new roller coaster. I guess it's a win-win-win for everyone. So there we have it, some of the roller coasters opening up in the year 2024. Obviously, I didn't talk about all the roller coasters opening up this year, just the ones that I found a little bit more intriguing to me. So there we have it, some of the roller coasters opening up this year in 2024. But other than that, that's basically all I have for you. Thanks for sticking around to the end, I guess, and subscribing would be really cool.